Truck lovers used to have it good. For decades, trucks stood for toughness, simplicity, and power. But something happened after 2020. A wave of changes swept through the auto industry, some driven by emissions regulations, others by cost cutting, and many by the rush to add more tech. The result, many of the most iconic and dependable trucks took a serious turn for the worse. Whether it is lower reliability, weaker engines, or frustrating technology, these once great machines are no longer what they used to be. So let us dive into 13 popular trucks that got worse after 2020 and find out what went wrong. 1. Ford F-150. America's best-selling truck did not escape the post-2020 changes. While the F-150 remains popular, the newer models rely heavily on downsized turbocharged engines like the EcoBoost. Though powerful on paper, these engines have proven less reliable over time, especially with carbon buildup and moisture issues in cold climates. The push toward hybrid versions added complexity, making repairs more expensive and reducing the old-school simplicity that made the F-150 beloved. The new infotainment systems are flashy, but glitch-prone, and the overall build quality has taken a hit. What once felt like a rugged workhorse now feels more like a luxury experiment. 2. Chevrolet Silverado 1500. The Silverado used to stand shoulder to shoulder with the F-150, offering V8 strength durable transmissions and no-nonsense interiors. After 2020, however, the truck began to feel hollow. Coast-cutting hit hard with more cheap plastics inside and a decline in suspension quality. The updated infotainment system may look better, but it suffers from lags and resets. Several powertrain issues have also cropped up in newer models, especially with the 5.3-liter V8 and 10-speed transmission pairing. While still capable on the job site, the Silverado lost the solid, dependable feel that longtime owners loved. 3M 1500 earned praise before 2020 for its smooth ride and plush interior. But lately, that luxury focus has begun to hurt it. Stellantis, the parent company, shifted priorities toward cost efficiency, and it shows owners have reported more problems with electrical components, especially the giant Uconnect screens, which freeze or go blank unexpectedly. Build quality has slipped, and the once celebrated air suspension system has developed more frequent failures. What used to be a standout in the half-ton segment now feels overcomplicated and less dependable. Ford Toyota Tundra. For years, the Tundra was known for its old but bulletproof 5.7-liter V8. After 2020, Toyota replaced it with a twin-turbo V6 hybrid setup in an attempt to modernize and increase efficiency. Unfortunately, the new engine has proven complex and has not yet earned the same reliability trust. Owners miss the V8's low-end grunt and simplicity. The newer Tundra also rides stiffer and has less predictable handling. In trying to fix what was not broken, Toyota stripped the Tundra of its signature dependability. 5. Nissan Titan. The Titan was never the sales leader, but it had a loyal following thanks to its rugged V8 and straightforward layout. In recent years, though, Nissan seems to have abandoned real investment in the truck. After 2020, updates became minimal and mostly cosmetic. Meanwhile, interior quality remains below rivals and outdated tech continues to plague the driving experience. Nissan pulled the plug on the Titan in Canada and may do the same in the US soon. The Titan went from being a quiet underdog to a forgotten afterthought. 6. GMC Sierra 1500. Like its cousin, the Silverado, the Sierra 1500 saw a drop in quality post-2020. It tried to separate itself with flashy interiors and the multi-pro tailgate, but the core mechanical issues remained. Transmission problems, especially in the 10-speed models, became more frequent. The 3.0-liter Duramax diesel sounded great on paper but faced early reliability questions. Owners also noted inconsistent fit and finish, and the once premium Denali trim now feels less exclusive. While it still rides better than many rivals, the Sierra is not the class leader it once was. 7. Ford Ranger. The mid-size Ford Ranger returned to the US with high hopes, but the post-2020 models have left many disappointed. The turbocharged four-cylinder engine struggles with lag, and the transmission tuning can feel jerky at low speeds. Interior materials remain outdated, and Ford has been slow to address owner complaints about infotainment failures and cabin noise. What was meant to be a reliable and practical alternative to full-size trucks now feels like a compromise in every direction. 8. Jeep Gladiator. The Gladiator debuted with a bang, offering Jeep enthusiasts a truck with Wrangler roots. But after the initial excitement, problems began piling up. Owners report frequent issues with the electronics, infotainment, and power windows. The truck's ride is also stiff and uncomfortable compared to competitors. Off-road, it remains strong, but for everyday use, the Gladiator feels clunky, inefficient, and overpriced. The novelty has worn off, and the flaws are impossible to ignore. Let us take a quick pause here. Think about what all these trucks had in common before 2020: simplicity, durability, and trust. Now, the rush to add more screens, sensors, and tech has made them more fragile and expensive to maintain. So let us continue with a few more models that followed the same unfortunate trend. 9. Honda Ridgeline. The Ridgeline was always a unique truck. It drove like an SUV and offered practicality that many truck owners loved. But after 2020, Honda tried to make it more aggressive in appearance while ignoring deeper issues. The infotainment system remains clunky, the payload capacity is still lower than rivals, and the unibody design limits true off-road capabilities. While it is smooth on pavement, newer models lack the interior quality Honda used to be known for. It is no longer the clever, well-built alternative it once was. 10. Chevrolet Colorado. The Colorado used to be a solid choice for people who wanted mid-size capability without full-size bulk. Post-2020, however, the truck began showing its age. Even with new trims and minor updates, the platform feels dated. The 2.8-liter Duramax diesel, once a selling point, is now gone. And while the new generation offers better tech, build quality is inconsistent and interior comfort has not kept up with rivals. The Colorado is trying to stay relevant but is falling behind. 11. Ram 2500 HD. Heavy-duty trucks like the Ram 2500 used to be built for one purpose, work. But recent models have been leaning into luxury, and that has not always gone well. The introduction of more complex electronics, especially the 12-inch touchscreen, brought new problems. HVAC systems, touch inputs, and camera modules have seen a rise in failures. The Cummins diesel engine remains strong, but the overall package is becoming less bulletproof and more fragile. For those who need a true workhorse, newer models come with more headaches. 12. Toyota Tacoma. The Tacoma has long been one of the most beloved trucks in the world. Its reputation for off-roadability and durability was unmatched. But after 2020, it began to show signs of fatigue. The 6-speed automatic transmission feels dated and hunts for gears. The seating position remains uncomfortable for many drivers. Infotainment systems are improved, but still clunky compared to competitors. While it still sells in big numbers, the Tacoma is no longer improving. It is coasting on its past. 13. Ford Maverick. The Ford Maverick was a fresh face in the truck world, and early reviews were positive. But as real-world use added up, cracks started to show. Owners have reported battery issues in hybrid models, frustrating software bugs, and inconsistent build quality. It is also difficult to find one without dealer markups. What started as a brilliant idea for budget-conscious buyers has turned into a harder sell. Ford may fix these issues over time, but the Maverick's shine has already dulled for some. The truck market has changed more in the last few years than in the previous 2 decades combined. What used to be vehicles you could depend on for life are now rolling computers with unpredictable problems. Complexity has replaced clarity, flash has replaced function, and buyers are starting to notice. If you are in the market for a truck, pay close attention, not just to what the badge says, but to how the vehicle performs in the long run. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to check out our next video, 10 trucks that are ugly but built like tanks, where we look at the rugged underdogs that prove looks are not everything. Stay tuned. You will not want to miss it.